Hey folks, MACT here, and we have another video on a piece of equipment. We have this jump starter, the king of power, made by DBPOWER, and it has 24/7 live support, I guess. Not much on the back, but we do have some specifications here. It is a model G16. Has a 20,800 amp hour capacity. It weighs about 22 ounces. It's 7.5 by 3.4 by 1.4 inches. C-type, 5 volt, 3 amp output. It's got another output for 5 volt, 9 volt, and 12 volt, and the second output for 5 volt and 2.1 amps. So we're talking charging various devices. Peak current is 2,000 amps. The starting current is 1,000 amps with a working temperature of -4 to 140 degrees. So, you know, if you keep this thing in your car and it's 25 below, it may not function exactly like you want. Where it was made, yes, made in China, just so you guys all know. And various part numbers that they have put on it. Not much else on the outside of the box, so let me go ahead and get this thing opened and we'll start pulling out what's inside. Well, just so you all know what happened to my old Black & Decker, gave up the ghost. It wasn't functioning right. So that's why I went ahead and got this one, and this is the battery on it because I put a new battery in it, so this battery is really good. So I'm just going to hang on to it for various other applications, but that's what happened to it. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull this thing out and see what this DBPOWER does for us. First of all, I guess presentation is everything. Holy cow. This is a nice little case this thing comes in. It has a zipper that goes around it, so you can take and open it all up, and it opens up like a clamshell. And it has a activate your 12-month warranty exclusive gift. If you scan that and you get another gift, you might have to see what that gift is here later on. Anyway, jump start capacity vehicle emissions checklist. Look at that. Got all that right there. All that good information. Tells you the different amps and everything else. Note to make sure the power of the jump start is at least 50% before using. That's good to know. So essentially, we can't go below 50%. Noteworthy thing to know. This is the jump starter, and it is remarkably like my Gooloo. So if you want to take and say, hey, that looks like your Gooloo, Bill. Well, it does sort of look like my Gooloo that I have in my other car. But here we have the engine start. We have our output 2, which is the 5 volt 2 amp, and then we have the output, which is the smart. And then we have the light. Now, how much charge do they ship it with? Yep, we got 3/4 of a charge, or 75%, as far as that goes. Again, more of our information. So you can't say you didn't know because it's all over the place. And then we have our in and out for our little USB-C that we have. So you could plug your I guess phone devices in there or charge it or whatever you want, but you got the USBs here, so any phone charging cable would probably work. You know, for example, I have this charger here, so you could just plug that in and get your outputs in there going. Wouldn't be a problem. This cable I have here, USB-C, probably be this one right here. Focus, there you go. So we could probably plug that directly in to the side over here, wherever it went. There it is. Yes, you could probably plug that right in there, just like so. And then you could then charge it. And all you would have to do then is plug this USB in here, and I bet you it would charge on that. I do have USB chargers on my power strip, but I also have this Noco that I can also charge, and all I have to do with the Noco is plug this in to the Noco, and then I can charge this, and that's more than likely what I'm going to do. Now I do have it charging, and it isn't quite 75% charged, but we do have the charger hooked up, so I'm going to go ahead and let this get to a full charge and use this old AGM X-Side battery that doesn't have a whole lot of volts to it, but it's good enough to charge things. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then see where we're at and how long it'll take, and see what the results are. Well, while we're waiting, it says, do not knock, toss, or shake the product strongly. Don't expose product to the sun. And do not short circuit at any time. Well, I guess they don't want you tearing it open. Do not and keep the product away from children or pets. And the operation temperature should not exceed 50 degrees Celsius. LED display is low voltage protection and reverse polarity protection or short circuit protection, and reverse charging protection. So high temperature protection. So it has a thermal cutoff. It has too cold, too hot, you name it, reverse polarity, so you can't hook it up backwards. And it does come with a USB-C, very short cable. So keep that in mind. And I gotta see how this thing's gonna work once we plug it in. I could read the directions, I guess, but how is it gonna jump start when we plug it in is my question. It looks like there's a little LED screen there of some sort. I'm not sure what that is. We'll see what it is. I just don't know what that is, so we'll have to check that out. I'll review the instructions on how to use it also. Well, it's pretty simple to go ahead and do it. You just make sure you got over 50% charge, and then you insert the jump cables into the jumper port. The digital tube frame will be lit up circularly from left to right. So get that in there, and then of course connect the red clamp to the positive terminal and the black clamp to the negative terminal on the car battery. Screen on the clamps will show the jump starter's current voltage. The normal values between 14 volts and 16.8 volts or light up, and the device will enter standby mode. And then when the symbol flashes on the screen, the clamps and jump starter will be disconnected, and then try step 2 and 3 again. So if it starts flashing, then you know you got to reconnect everything again. And then you simply just start your engine. Unlike the Gooloo, there's no button to push that the Gooloo has on this device. There's a little tiny button, and always you got to have like an ink pen or something to push, which is a bad design. It just is horrible. But this one here has this screen, and it is automatic. So as soon as you connect it, it's given its full go, and you can go ahead and get started on that and check it out. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and see what the free gift is so that you guys know. But hey, just let this thing get charged and go from there. Now, in order to claim your warranty and activate it off of this card right here, you have to have your name, email address, and your Amazon purchase order number. Once you put that in and hit claim it, then you can get your claim your gift now web page. So 3 simple steps to get the following free gift: an Amazon gift card. It's a $10 Amazon gift card. So we're going to claim our gift and see what they're going to want us to do. And what is your experience with our product? They want a review, essentially. So more than 30 days. I'm going to say I like it. And would I buy it again? I I doubt I'll buy another one because, frankly, I got 2 of them already. So we'll just put it at a 6. What's your comment on the product? Well, I'm just going to type in, seems to work as designed. I decided to do a little bit of a comparison of the Gooloo and the Jumpstart, the DBPOWER. And as you can see, the Gooloo is a little bit on the thinner side. But if you look at the overall length and width, the Gooloo is a little bit longer and wider. So that being said, we have capacity, and we have on the Gooloo, we have 19,873 watts. Then on the DB, we have 20,876.96 watts. Now, starting current is on the Gooloo is 800 amps, and then the jump starting current is 1,000 amps. The peak current on the Gooloo is 1,500 amps, and the peak jumping current or output current is 2,000 amps. So overall, what we're looking at here is the DBPOWER has more power than compared to the Gooloo. Although they do make bigger Gooloos as far as more power. This is one of the lower ones, I think. And this is, of course, a little bit heftier in that aspect. But as far as temperatures, operating temperature -20 or -4. So they're basically the same as far as their temps. 4 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit or 20 below Celsius. So they both have a weakness, and that is cold weather. But overall, yeah, they're pretty much close to each other. But I will say that the Gooloo is the weaker of the two as far as jump starting. So, you know, the DBPOWER has the win for that. Plus, if you look at this, you also have the readout on here compared to the Gooloo, which does not have that. The Gooloo, I don't like the Gooloo for one reason, and one reason only, and that is this right here. That boost. Now it does give you the reverse and correct, but that boost button, trying to hit that boost button with your finger, you have to get something that is sharp, like, you know, like a pen or something, to click that. That is right there something I don't like. But looking at the ends here, look at this one, and then look at this one. This is the DBPOWER. So we look at them both side by side. They're proprietary because you notice the Gooloo has that little notch right there. So, but would it fit in there? Maybe. But it looks like they're smaller. DBPOWER is bigger, and the Gooloo is a smaller connection. So, yeah, definitely is not a selling point on this here for the boost. I do have problems with that, and I always got to remember to have something small and tiny to push on that boost to give it the boost. Whereas if you want to jump start with the DBPOWER, all you have to do is plug it in and jump start. You don't have to push buttons or anything like that. So that being said, getting them both charged up through the USB into them, and they are both starting out about the same at 75%. I left the Gooloo. It's probably been a good 5 months or so since it was charged. And one thing about these things is that you do have to charge them. Okay, I'm going to say if you go more than 6 months, they're going to be below their 50% mark. They leach out power or something. They don't store for a long time. So about every 2 or 3 months, you need to top them off to keep them ready. So that is a maintenance requirement that you have to be willing to do. Otherwise, these things will serve you poorly, because once they're below 50%, they're totally useless, according to their own literature. So you got to charge them up first in order to use them. And then once you do use them, you got to recharge them. One other thing is the Gooloo does give you more accessories to plug in. You get a 12-volt power supply here that you can plug it into also. So you can essentially use the Gooloo, because it has an output. So you can plug this Gooloo into your 12-volt power supply, and you can provide power to your car via the Gooloo. So when you take the battery out, you would of course retain all of your functions, your radios and everything else. So that's a bonus there, whereas this jump starter here does not have that capability. So yeah, they got their pluses and minuses, but still quite functional. One other difference is the clamps. This is the DBPOWER. This is the Gooloo. You notice the Gooloo clamps are a lot bigger. Wires appear to be of nearly the same type. So you do get alligator teeth on this one, whereas you get smooth bites on this. So pluses or minuses. Both look to be manufactured of the similar plastics and wiring and such. So not much difference there, other than you do get something that's heftier with this Gooloo vice this DBPOWER. A little shorter throw, so you got to put a little more effort into it, just due to leverage. But overall, pretty much the same in that aspect. This, where it says engine start, is where we want to take and peel this back. It's just a little rubber cover, and it exposes the connection. So then we just plug that into here, and then we power it up and jump start any battery. Now if you have the polarity wrong, this is what it will do when you have it hooked up incorrectly. When you have the battery connected, it's going to display the voltage, and we'll see what it's doing here. I'll do a voltmeter on this and check the voltage on the battery itself. I know this is a fully charged battery, and I have no dead batteries to jump, but you can at least see what it is registering. So we can see we have 13 volts, and I do have this hooked up on the voltmeter to see what the voltage is, and then we can go ahead and hit the button, and we can jump start and see where we're at. And we're ready to jump. We have it on, and all we have to do then is jump start our vehicle as it's all running, and we can see that we have the voltage we need to jump start it. Again, this battery is not dead, but you get the idea that it will work. Now the Gooloo gives you an audible and a red light telling you got it hooked up incorrectly. So you just merely switch them around to the right way. And you get no voltage readout on the Gooloo, and we have no light there to tell us anything, because we have to hit the button in order to make it work. But we do have the green light that's lit up right there telling us, hey, we're good to go. So we can just hit that button, and then we can test the voltage to see where we're at on that. Now we have 15.89 volts on the Gooloo as far as the jump starting. and I believe it will time out here in a bit, but I do have the burst power on it, and we're going to go ahead and see if it times out on us a little bit. But yeah, you see a difference there. We can recheck, but the Gooloo, there we go, it timed out. It only gives you a burst and then it drops down, as you can see, because you hear the click and it drops down. And it keeps dropping down as it reduces the power to it. So you got to move pretty quick with the Gooloo in order to do a jump start, whereas the DBPOWER doesn't seem to do that. So we'll have to see what's the difference here. I'll try it one more time. Again, the DBPOWER just doesn't seem like it does. It reads 13.6, which is correct for the voltmeter, but you don't get that 14 volt burst that you get out of the Gooloo. So I'm going to say that this is more of a, this is usable power, but it's a little more conservative in what it does. But that's not a bad thing, maybe. Whereas the Gooloo, you have a short period of time to do something. But this one gives you a good steady 13.6. So that's not bad. Not bad for a jump starter. I think it's a little better that way because it stays on longer. I don't see it turning off. So it gives us good straight continuous power. So let's see if it does shut off and drop down, but I don't think it will. I think it just gives you a good steady power. Well, I waited a few minutes and no discernible drop. It's just staying pretty steady, like I said. So apparently we got an even keel for power from this DBPOWER compared to the Gooloo, which bursts quite high to provide power to jumpstart. But never know. Maybe that's a one-trick pony when we look at the amount of battery usage that it takes to do that. Well, overall, neither one lost much power in that. Of course, I didn't really jumpstart anything, but no discernible power loss in that part of the job. So, hey, if you want good, hard, steady power, 13.5 or more volts, this is a good one. But if you need a lot more power, the Gooloo will give you that burst that you need in order to jumpstart something. So that has its play there too. They both do the same thing as far as their flashlights. You hit the button and hold the button, then the light turns on. You hit it once, it flashes. You hit it another time, it flashes differently, and then it goes back to solid. Then you hold the button again and the light turns off. Same thing for the Gooloo. Hold the button, light turns on, hit it once, it flashes really fast, then it does a slow strobe, and then of course it turns off when you hit the button. So the difference is you can hit this once and it turns it off. This one you have to hold the button to turn it off until it shuts the light off. But the strobe isn't really much different on that. But this does have a really fast strobe and a slow strobe, whereas this just has two intermittent strobes that are just slightly different. So overall, hey, either one would be a good value. I'm going to keep one in each car, and then who knows, might ever use it. I've used them a few times, so they have paid for themselves in that aspect. But overall, that's the review on both of these. Specifically, what this is about is the DBPOWER jump starter. Before you go, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, please. Hammer those things for me. Get the views up. Watch the video, folks. Yes, that's how this pays me to do these types of reviews, so you get information, and that really does help me out. So watching more of the video, making sure you like and subscribe, hit that bell is always a beneficial thing for anything as far as these YouTube videos go. So give me that like and subscribe and hit that reminding bell so you can catch up on any new videos I do put out. But as with all things, my feet, tongue-tied today. My feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day. I want you to have a great day too. Band of One's always got some great music. Mercy Grill's always got a couple of one-liners, and all sorts of other things may happen in between. I gotta go work on my lawnmower now.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.